What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. This is the Heartletics Podcast and the Heartletics YouTube channel with your host, Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about the difference between somebody that is successful and somebody that's not. And at the end of the day, I think I figured it out, right? I think I figured out as to what really makes somebody successful. And that could be your career path. That could be your relationship, your parenting. That could be your health and fitness journey. Odds are, right, let's just narrow in and talk about that. Since this is a health and fitness channel, health and fitness podcast, here to give you guys motivation, here to give you guys inspiration, some tips and tricks to just keep things going in the right direction, and most importantly, not give up. So if you happen to like today's content or any of the content on the platform that you're listening to this episode on, please do me a favor, share with some friends, share with some family members, share it on social media, and let's help inspire the world together. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about the difference between what makes somebody successful and what makes somebody not successful. And you'd be surprised, but what it boils down to is that successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. Plain and simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. To me, it's called non-negotiables. So as a business owner, right, like I'm going to give you some non-negotiables, right? Like every single day, Monday through Sunday, right? 365, I am replying back to my clients. I am messaging them back. That is a non-negotiable thing. That's why we have awesome success rates within our clients, because if they're ever stuck, or for example, one of my clients right before I got, started recording this podcast, started recording this YouTube video, they literally sent us over the link to where they're going tonight with their wife out to dinner. And so, we scanned it over, sent them over a nice little Loom video on different options. We kind of went over with them what they already ate for the day. So it's giving the knowledge, giving the guidance, right? And that's what you could expect. But that's a non-negotiable for me. That's what makes Heartletics successful, is our response rate and how we, talk to the clients and how we hold somebody accountable and how we really help transform them lives by going above and beyond. We like to say it's like Chick-fil-A customer service Monday, even on Sundays. So what helps somebody, okay, is making sure that they have the path, right? The path to success. Now, here's the thing, right? That's once again a non-negotiable. Successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not, right? It's a non-negotiable. So think about this, right? If let's say, whether you feel like taking care of your kid or not, if he's sick, you're going to do it, right? It's a non-negotiable. That's how you need to prioritize yourself, right? Yourself when it comes to your path to greatness, whether that is looking good and feeling more confident with your shirt off, maybe that's having more energy to play with your kids, maybe that's just living a healthier lifestyle so you're not struggling with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, whatever the case may be. You need to prioritize some non-negotiables for your health, for your lifestyle. Something that's really going to sit in, something that's really going to stick out, something that's really going to make sure that, hey, as long as you stick with this and you're consistent with it, no matter what, as long as you don't give up, you will see success, right? There will be a light at the end of the tunnel. No ifs, ands, or buts. But with that being said, I found out the real difference maker into what makes somebody successful and what makes somebody not successful. And that's this. You need to be so afraid of the person who you are today or the person of who you were in the past that there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to make a change. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll put it to you like this. Everybody wants to look good with their shirts off. Everybody wants to have more energy. Everybody wants to be more aesthetic. Everybody wants to be healthier, right? Everybody wants to have $1 million, right? The dream life, the whole 9 yards, right? But have you ever met somebody that wanted something really bad? Like maybe it's a friend of yours, but they're not actually fully committed. They're not actually going all in. Maybe they got one foot in the door, one foot out the door, right? Maybe it's like they like somebody, but they don't want to ask them to be their girlfriend or ask them to be like their wife or something like that. They're kind of just flaky with it, right? You can't be like that with your goals. You're never going to manifest. You're never going to achieve your goals if you're 1 foot out the door. Plain and simple. What's the point of even trying, right? What's the point of getting, going half in on something and only getting half of the results? You want the full results, baby. You want to look good with your shirt off. You want to feel good. You want to have more energy, which means you need to dive in head first. And so this one little mindset trick should be able to help you guys to have more success. Whether this is on your health and fitness journey, whether this is career, whether this is a relationship, anything like this. But it's to rip off the Band-Aid, right? As plain as that sounds, it's to rip off the Band-Aid. You need to have that heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. And as guys, right, I train guys over 40 plus, right? If you're ages of 40 to 60 and you're struggling with the dad bod, low energy, high blood pressure, odds are you'll be a great fit for our coaching program. And here's the thing that we realize. The hundreds of guys that we coach throughout the several years, right? The guys that dive in head first, they always get better results than the guys who are flaky, than the guys who you're still kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So what do we mean by that? Well, here's how you dive in head first. Here's how you achieve ripping off the Band-Aid. You need to be real with yourself. You need to have that honest conversation with yourself and just say, okay, where am I at today? Is this helping the future 2.0 version of myself reach their goals, or is it hurting myself? And then you need to be honest with you and say, all right, listen, the person that I am today, or the person that I have been, maybe the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years, however long you've been struggling with your health and fitness goals, it should scare the death out of you if you don't make a change. Plain and simple. Like, guys get timid all the time, especially if something has a price to it. Yeah, we're not cheap and we're not free. Plain and simple. But at the end of the day, right, we always like to say it like this. You got to do something, whether it's with our coaching services, right, that you want the easiest vehicle from point A to point B with your health and fitness goals, right, that's going to guarantee the results you're looking for and make it sustainable, or you go on and do your own thing. Regardless, you need to wake up. You need to decide and look yourself in the mirror and just say, okay, listen, I'm sick and tired of being who I am today. Not happy with who I see in the mirror, not having any energy at all, lacking confidence, lacking self-esteem. Maybe you're comparing yourself to the past version of who you used to be. Yeah, that person, right? Guess what? Like, you need to make a commitment that you don't want to be them anymore. And it should scare the crap out of you that if you stay complacent, if you don't make a change, it should scare the crap out of you. The fear, right, of not taking action should be way greater than the fear of taking action. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll put it to you like this. Let's say you're afraid to take action on anything. It's the uncertainty. Maybe you're skeptical because you don't know if you're going to get results. Maybe you're skeptical because, I don't know, maybe you saw something, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you're scared of, where you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you need to just be honest with yourself and almost have that epiphany and wake-up call to say, okay, listen, if I dove in headfirst on this thing and I completely bombed, completely did not get the results that I'm looking for, am I still going to be in a better position than who I was yesterday? And that's the reality of, because that cost of inaction, oh man, that cost adds up. Honestly, I'll put it to you like this, right? Life, and you heard me say it plenty of times on this YouTube channel, plenty of times on this podcast, life is just one hourglass tipped upside down. And you are in full control over how fast or how slow you want that sand to go down the bottom. Obviously, if you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your mindset, taking care of, your body, you're making that sand fall down a lot slower, which is great because you're adding years to your life, which is, guess what? Priceless. But that cost of inaction, I mean, think about it like this, right? Let's say you have some kids at home. My son is 3 years old, right? Maybe you have some little toddlers like that, right? Let's say you have no energy to play with them. Well, that cost of not taking action on your goals, that's not just costing you lack of energy, that's costing you memories with your kids. That's costing also your kids memories of you being lazy and sitting on the couch and watching TV and never spending time with them and playing with them. So think about it. That cost of inaction really adds up. What about confidence? We hear that from almost every guy that applies to our coaching program with Heartletics. The cost of inaction is just like, you have to be real and say, okay, well, hey, maybe these old clothes that I keep in the closet, maybe I should probably just go sell them or return them or whatever the case may be, because odds are if I'm not making a change, I'm probably not going to fit into those old clothes. So what's the point of wasting all this space in my closet if I'm not going to try my hardest to fit back into them one day and sustain that? Maybe it's the Confidence to take your shirt off. So now that's pouring into you feeling proud of yourself, you feeling happier with yourself, more greater self-esteem, more greater self-confidence, everything like that kind of trickles up. So once again, you need to ask yourself, how long can you continue living like that? Because I'll tell you what, like, to me, that's what being a man is. It's being confident. Not just confident in who you are, but most importantly, how you present yourself. How do you present yourself? Honestly, like, how do people see you? Do they look and say, oh man, this dude's just like a fat blob out of shape, like he doesn't care about himself? Like, at the end of the day, let's face it, that's going to portray into so many other variables of your life. Your sex life, your energy, your confidence, so many hidden costs than just the fear of failing. Like, that cost of inaction should literally scare you compared to the cost, right? Or the fear of failing, plain and simple. You know, at the end of the day, anything in life is worth the risk. Anything in life is scary. It's the unknown. But once again, you need to be real with yourself, because success, literally, it's right there for you. You can grab it. You can taste it. It's right there. But the problem is, what are the lies that you continue to tell yourself? Think about it. Like, what do you constantly tell yourself as to why you can't get started? Do you constantly tell yourself it's hard? Do you constantly tell yourself it's going to be expensive? Do you constantly tell yourself it's going to take a lot of time? Like, that you're too busy? Like, what are the lies that you continue to tell yourself? Because that's nothing more than you feeding that bad wolf, right? Plain and simple. You have the good wolf, you have the bad wolf. When are you going to wake up? Not just wake up to yourself, but wake up to those around you. Because once again, like, you know, how you see yourself and how you portray yourself, that's how other people see you too. So if you don't have any self-respect for yourself, if you don't have any self-confidence within yourself, how can you expect others to respect you? How can you expect others to have confidence in you? You know, like, think about it. Let's say you work in IT and you just, like, you know, don't care about yourself, don't care about your work ethic, you're lazy, other people see that about yourself. How are you ever going to expect your bosses to have respect for you? How are you ever going to expect your bosses to give you a raise? How are you ever going to expect your children to respect you if you don't respect yourself? You can't tell your kids, right, hey, make sure to, you know, finish all your vegetables, but like, here you are scarfing down a gallon of ice cream before you go to sleep, right? You can't tell your kids to get off their tablet and stop watching TV, but here you are just sitting around on the couch all day watching Netflix when you come home from work. You know, at the end of the day, like, let's face it, to be a man, it means by stepping up to the plate. It means by leading by example. And I get it, like, that's scary. That is, you know, but once again, like, what's scarier? The fear of failing or the fear of you staying the same? That's the reality, is just like, do you want to continue to stay the same? And if you want help, make a commitment to yourself. That's all it takes. Just make a commitment to yourself and get started. You know, at the end of the day, like, you don't need to be smart. You actually need to be dumb, right? You need to be arrogant. You need to be stubborn. I feel like that's what made Heartletics successful. I feel like that's what made me successful in my, you know, body and my goals when it comes to health and fitness, is I was too dumb to give up. And that right there, that's the secret to success. Because successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. It's a non-negotiable. So you need to start prioritizing your health. You need to start prioritizing your mind and creating some of these non-negotiables for you. And once you're able to stick with that, and guess what? They best suit in with your lifestyle, then it becomes a habit. Right? No one's going to, you know, ask you if you brushed your teeth today, right? No, odds are, like, no one's going to ever ask you that. So why don't we create some habits like brushing our teeth where we do it on repeat every day? But these habits best suit our lifestyle for the future. These habits best suit who we're going to become down the road. Not just for us, but obviously, like, these habits are going to also best suit our family. Because when you level up, when you man up, when you have more energy, more confidence, more self-respect for yourself, more self-esteem, guess what? Like, that rubs off into those people around you, you know? And at the end of the day, remember, successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. So what are some things that you maybe have been feeding the bad wolf way too long, where you're scared to get rid of? Replace that. Replace that with the fear of you not taking action on your goals. Replace that with, what if you don't make a change? What if everything stayed the same for the next 5, 10, 15 years? Are you really going to be happy with your life? That's the way you need to look at it. And it's scary. It's not fun by any means. But at the end of the day, maybe you hearing or seeing this episode gives you that spark of inspiration, gives you that sense of motivation, knowing that, hey, at the end of the day, whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, it doesn't matter. You woke up, you have breath in your lungs. People did not wake up this morning. So 1, you're blessed. 2, right? Use that as fuel to say you're not done. You can continue to keep on pushing. It's not that really hard to, go for a walk every day. It's really not that hard to make sure you're drinking plenty of water. It's really not that hard to make sure that you're focused on hitting your macros, right? At the end of the day, it's just remember, you get to choose the vehicle, the pathway to success. What is the vehicle that you want? We help out guys with Heartletics simply because they want to just regain their time back. They don't want to waste their time anymore. They understand that that's the most precious commodity here on earth. And remember, everybody is just an hourglass tipped upside down. And you are in full control over how fast or how slow that sand gets down to the bottom. The guys that sign up for our coaching services, guess what? They want their time back. They don't want to be wasting their time. And they understand what they're getting as a trade-off. They're not getting meal plans. They're not getting workouts. They're gaining results. They're gaining confidence. They're gaining self-esteem. They're gaining energy. These things are priceless. So you need to understand that, where is it, right? Where is the fine line, the drawing point between where you are today and most importantly, where you're trying to get to? Because odds are, right, if you have that reality check with yourself and just say, hey, I'm not happy with where I am today. I got to make a change. Awesome. Create some non-negotiables. Because successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. Plain and simple. And it does not have to be hard at all. Remember, the people that are too dumb to give up, those are the people that are always going to be successful. So maybe it's a chance that, hey, start being a little bit more dumber, right? Be too dumb to give up, plain and simple. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, 1, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your goals. Second, right, or third, I should say, is just what is that impression you're giving off to others? Do you really want to be that parent? Do you really want to be that guy? Do you really want to be that dad that's just whatever he does, he constantly gives up. He doesn't actually pour it 100% in. He's always just 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No. Show your kids, show yourself, hey, you still got breath in your lungs. You got this. You're not stopping. You're not quitting. And it's just 1 foot in front of the other. That's it. So make it your mission to show up each and every day, and I promise you success. Plain and simple. Guys, I really hope you guys got some value from today's YouTube episode and today's podcast episode. If you did, whether you're watching this on YouTube or whether you're hearing this on the podcast, definitely make sure that you share this with somebody that might need it or share it on your social media. That's the only way to help this channel grow. That's the only way to help out more people succeed in life, more people to get that inspiration. And obviously, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to definitely subscribe as well. But other than that, I really hope you guys got some value from today's episode. Once again, this has been the Heartletics YouTube channel and Heartletics Podcast with your host, Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. And I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scout.